Hey guys! It's been a while since I last recreated a photo, and a few days, weeks maybe, ago someone on Instagram sent me this photo from a 1938 Vogue shoot, and I absolutely love this. I think this is really cool and I would love to try and recreate it. I do feel like this is gonna be a difficult one. It is definitely a lot more complicated than other photos I have done before, and there are some very definite challenges in this one. What I'm seeing in this photo isn't necessarily stuff that I feel like I have just lying around the house. I think I'm gonna have to take some liberties in that department. And then of course the other major challenge is the lighting, which is, you know, the entire kind of point of this photo. So I will have to figure out a way how to work around all of those challenges. I think I need to let go of my perfectionism a little bit for this one. I'm not gonna spend too much time on the makeup this time because the face is kind of hidden anyway. The elements that you can see on her are mostly the eyebrows and the lips, which is very much in line with a 1930s makeup look. I'm gonna focus on that myself as well. I'm gonna start with a bit of foundation and concealer to do my base. For 1930s eyebrows, we need that very thin and very curved look. So I'm going to be using a cream gel brow product here to carve out a very kind of sharp eyebrow shape. Alright. Trying to get my eyebrows as round as possible. To try and make them a little bit thinner, I'm gonna go in with an eyebrow gel, pinch them a bit, I guess, comb them inwards so that they look thinner. So I'm trying to enforce that kind of rounded shape that I have going on. Then for my eye makeup, I'm gonna keep it super minimal and just curl my eyelashes and apply a bit of mascara. And for the lips, 1930s lips with a little bit of a wider cupid's bow and just a kind of more curved top lip in general. That would have been the go-to shape in the 1930s. I'm just using a dark lipstick for that. It's gonna be black and white anyway, so the exact color doesn't really matter. There we have a pretty classic 30s makeup with a bit of a heavier eyebrow. So next up is the hair, and she has a very interesting hairstyle going on. A kind of victory roll type thing almost on one side and then a bun on the other side. I'm just gonna try and do it. I do need a very neat center parting here. I'm actually gonna add a little bit of the back of the hair on this side because I only need to make the roll. So the hair on the front should be enough, and that'll allow me to make this bun a bit fuller. There is one side. I am going to just slide in some pins in the back here to make sure my hair doesn't slide out. You shouldn't be able to see this in the photo anyway. And now for that roll on the other end. I am a little bit worried about that because my hair is freshly washed and very slippery. I think I might have to add some like dry shampoo or something to make it hold, but I'm just gonna try it. I'm gonna start by backcombing my hair. And then there's a second either poof or roll or something directly below. Alright, so all of this hair that I still have here, I'm just gonna pin that away. We don't need this to actually look good from the back. That's the great thing about just doing a photo. Okay, hair finished as well. Now for an outfit. So like I mentioned, I don't think I have anything like this in my wardrobe, so I'm gonna try and find the items that are as similar as possible and see what I can come up with. Okay, here's what I have outfit wise. A black skirt with a little bit of shine, which I hope will reflect the shine on her skirt. A white top, short sleeves, button up all the way, beaded necklace, something that looks remotely like a beaded bracelet, and a ring, and obviously the hair and makeup. I'm gonna take off the glasses. So next up, I need to build something that looks like this set. Just gonna be a bit of a challenge because we have a very small home and there isn't really any wall space that big anywhere with nothing on it. So I honestly think my best bet is this wall right here. If I just take the mirror down, hopefully that might be wide enough, and if not, I'm just gonna have to make my photo a bit more cropped than the original is. So I think we're gonna just try and set up those lights. Fingers crossed we can get something similar to the original photo. I knew this would be a difficult one, but this was so much worse even than I expected. Our house is just tiny and it was really hard to try and cram everything, the lights and decor and everything, into this tiny space. And we also didn't really have the right things. I'm very glad that Robert came up with the mirror reflection idea, because that definitely gave us the most concentrated light beam in the center. We couldn't really make the foliage work. There wasn't enough room to kind of step back far enough to take the image from the right angle without having furniture showing on all sides, and it was just very challenging. So the photo that is the closest match, or kind of the best photo, is still very much not great. So there is a lot of editing to do. We'll see how far I get with that. Usually there's quite a lot I can tweak with editing, so let's get started. I'm gonna get started in Lightroom again, because that's what I am most comfortable with, and then we're gonna move on to Photoshop, and I'm just gonna struggle with Photoshop for a few hours here. That's okay, every time I do that I learn a little bit more. Let's get started. First thing I'm going to do here is to correct some of the lens distortion and try and make this look as if it was shot from a little bit further away than it was. And then I am going straight into the black and white presets that I have here to try and find the one that best matches the original photo. And I'm just gonna play with the light settings to again try and match the original as good as I can. Cropping away some of the furniture that's visible in the photo. And then I'm just going into some individual parts of the photo where I want to work a little bit more on the lighting. So I'm trying to brighten up the skirt a little bit and darken the shirt that I'm wearing. And I'm trying to up the contrast a little bit. So next I'm just getting rid of some birthmarks here really quickly. So I feel like those are quite distracting in the photo. And next I'm trying to deal with the fact that we weren't able to install an overhead light, which was very needed for this photo, but we just couldn't place it anywhere. So I'm trying to just brighten up the top of my hair there to give the impression there maybe was something similar. So then I'm going into Photoshop and I'm starting my work there by just smoothing out my hands a little bit. They were looking very veiny. And then I'm gonna go into the liquify tool and thin out my eyebrows a little bit. Well, not thin out, just make them thinner and more 30s looking. Because I feel like that's a very important feature of the photo. Alright, now to emphasize that light circle a little bit, since we weren't able to get it still as good as I had hoped, I'm just playing around with different things. I'm sorry, this must be very frustrating for people who actually know how Photoshop works to watch me struggle with this, but yeah, I'm doing everything for the first time here, and in Photoshop you can do everything like 100 different ways. So yeah, there's gonna be a lot of this, me trying to find the right tool to get a certain effect that I want. So in the end I was pretty happy with my circle, and I'm just trying to get it off of my body. So I'm erasing around the edges here. So here I tried to kind of make my upper body a bit slimmer, but it didn't work, so just cancelled that. Not a good idea. So playing around with that shadow a bit more, and then I decided to overlay some foliage just because we weren't able to do that in the way that I wanted to, and I feel like it's a very important element in the photo. So I'm gonna cheat my way around this and just do it in post. So I just took this kind of stock photo, maybe it's an illustration even, off the internet, and I pasted that into a layer. I'm gonna cut it out and once again do about 100 different things to try and make this look like a shadow, and then end up doing it completely wrong or in a way that is definitely not the most quick and efficient probably, but it worked in the end, so that's, you know, what counts. So I'm just stretching out the sides of the image to make it look, you know, more like an actual shadow, which does also stretch out around the edges. And I'm again removing it off of my body here, because on the original photo it is behind her. So here I tried to maybe remove a little bit of the edges, but it didn't work, so I just went back to the way it looked. I'm just playing around with this, trying to get it to look as good as possible. And then I added one more little overlay here, again from just an image of the internet. And I'm doing pretty much the same thing with that. Playing around with all the settings, trying to get it to look as good as possible. Okay, here is the final photo. I am actually surprised and quite happy with how well this turned out in the end. Obviously it's a lot more cropped, but like I mentioned, there just wasn't more room. And I am surprised actually by how well this still turned out, considering the photo that we start with and the circumstances that the photo was taken in. I am actually quite proud of it. I think it's a very nice photo. It's definitely cool. I had to cheat a little bit, but not too much, I think. I think this is an acceptable level of cheating. It definitely turned out better than what I feared when I started the editing process. And I do feel like I'm getting better at this, which is great. So hopefully in a few years or months, maybe years probably, I'll be able to do really cool stuff. But yes, so here's the finished result. And I think that brings us to the end of this video, guys. So I really hope you enjoyed it, enjoyed watching me try and recreate this 1938 Vogue photograph. If you did enjoy, don't forget to give a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for loads more beauty and lifestyle content. If you'd like to support me through Patreon or my merch store, there will be links in the description box below. Thank you so much for your support. There is another video here that I think you might also enjoy. You can go watch next. Thank you for watching once again, and I'll see you very soon in my next video. Bye!